Welcome in to our third official episode of another footy podcast. I'm your host Joey, and I'm joined by Jack today. Jack, how are
Not too shabby, mate. Yourself?
you? Yeah, been feeling a bit under the weather today, but I'm feeling like Brian Toto, bro. I gotta take the tough yardage carries. You know what I mean?
Oh, tough carry today, eh? Let's do it.
Yep, tough carries, bro. And back start another no show. I don't know what I'm
Oh,
gonna do. I think I'm gonna have to start having you guys on alternating shifts, bro, because we can't keep going like this.
straight out. Yep, I agree.
And special mention to the Socceroos getting the win over the weekend. How fucking good. Up the
Straight out.
Aussies.
The Socceroos. Yeah.
We'll jump straight into it. Your team of the round. Who and why?
My team of the round, Parramatta Eels. Um, I thought they displayed a great defensive effort, scrambled really well for each other, played hard for each other. Pre-game, I thought I'm pretty sure I tipped Raiders. I thought Raiders would walk all over their forward pack. Um, I thought the Eels really stood up. In particular, Katonga, probably one of his better games of his career so far. Pretty sure he had over 150 running meters, ton of offloads. Um, I think Volkman and Iongi played great, Iongi in particular. And I just thought Raiders lacked creativity, spark, no Strange and Huddy. But yeah, Eels, great overall performance. My team of the round.
Yeah, I think you kind of took the words right out of my mouth, to be honest.
Yeah,
Look, it was probably easier to go with Souths or Dolphins considering the score lines they put on, but I just thought, yeah, man, like with the players that Para have out and the team that they came up against, it was hard not to pick them. Like you mentioned, Iongi, I thought he had a really good game, and I think with every passing game, he proves that Jason Riles was right to let Gutherson go and
yeah,
sort of to go with Iongi. Um, like you said, Kautoga, another great game from him. Kelma Tuolangi surprised me as well.
yeah,
He's a very rocks and diamonds player, but that was certainly a rocks type of game from him.
yeah,
Um, Jack Williams, I thought performed really well, and to be honest, Para they've been on the improved the last couple of weeks. I'd say. I
yeah. They've
think,
been competitive.
yeah, I think getting Moses back might see them win a couple more games. Their defense has certainly held up last. Well, I don't know last week. It's because they were versus the Bulldogs, who have the worst attack in the comp. But yeah, no, the last 2 weeks their defense it's really stood up.
Yeah, no, they've been good. They've been really competitive the last few weeks.
Your worst team in the round. Who and why?
Worst team of the round. It's got to be Brizzy for me. So Brisbane Broncos. Um, Given a lot of players out, or key players out, Stags, Haas, Walsh. Um, I just thought they had too many silly errors. To be honest, lack of discipline, um, lack of support play or no support play. An example: first 10 minutes of the game, Reno makes an intercept. Not one support player in sight. Gets a quick play the ball that hits the ground. The dummy half passes it, hits the ground. They fail to take advantage of it.
Does his hammy?
Uh,
Springs to
yeah,
life.
that's it. And then later in the game as well, there was a moment where Hunt passes out a dummy half, and it hits the back. The player he had his back turned towards him, and he just hits his back, and then he was like a Broncos knock on, and they conceded possession. Um, I thought their disconnect in defence. It just feels like they're all trying to solve their own problems. They're not sort of defending as a team. And I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure if they're like confident within themselves at the moment, especially with like the dropping of players in and out of the team, and they're really struggling with this Origin period. But yeah, Brizzy Broncos, my worst team of the round.
Yeah, they certainly have the hallmarks of a a struggling Madge team at the moment. I remember when he was coach of the Tigers and had a couple of losses on the trot. He'd change players would get dropped, team constantly change. You'd never feel like there was any sort of stability. But
Yeah. Yep.
my worst team in the round, I've actually gone to Canberra Raiders.
Oh, okay.
Tarpanay's 250th game, I thought they would have sort of stood up to the occasion for him, probably considering that he's one of their best ever props of all time. And they were just completely, I don't know, they were flat. They came out, they
Yeah.
lacked energy, they weren't getting up in defense, they weren't hitting hard, they were losing the physical battle as well as the emotional one, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
seemed like
That's right. It
Parrot
felt
just
like
wanted more.
that's right. It felt like pre-game that they did have that edge in the forward pack, but obviously not. Didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, and just I don't know, like it's funny, right? Looking over the last couple of years, Souths when they let go of Reynolds and went with Lockie Ilias and Canberra. They let go of Fogs. Obviously, he's gone to Manly, and they backed Ethan Sanders. And maybe I don't know about you, but the last couple of years we're seeing, maybe it's better sticking with the proven player rather than the unproven junior who's he hasn't sort of put it together in first grade. He's still pretty much very inexperienced, and
Yeah,
as
like
you've
they
seen,
didn't. There was no sort of transition period for him. He was sort of just put into the role.
yeah, like I mean, he had last year in New South Wales Cup to sort of get up to speed and learn the system and learn as much as you can off of Fogs. But I mean, I'm sure Lockie Ilias would have done the same at South with Reno while he was there. But sometimes it's like, you just need to back the proven player. And I feel like the halfback, it's arguably one of the most important positions on the field. And, would you say that Souths would be struggling as hard as they are now with Fogarty compared to how they're struggling at the moment with Sanders?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, nah, you're right. You're right, 100%. Fogarty's a massive difference, especially at this time of the year.
Yeah.
Like
I
with
mean, you can see
Stranger.
the inexperience with Sanders. He's constantly making the wrong plays. I mean, he even got sin binned on the weekend. His kicking game, he's not. Sometimes he just chooses the wrong kicking options. When he's supposed to grubber, he bombs. When he's supposed to bomb, he grubbers. Sometimes on fit
Yeah,
tackle plays, he's just shuffling the ball on. He's not really taking any responsibility.
yeah. It's tough for Canberra as a whole as well because even when his halves partner is there, they're both still very young and raw. Like they're not they're not seasoned vets. 100%. Having someone like Fogarty, especially at this time of the year, would make such a massive difference.
And that's what I mean. Like Ethan Strange won the Dally M 5-8 of the year last year, playing on the left. They've moved Strange to the right to accommodate Sanders, who was a left-sided player, and it's even sort of taken away from Strange a bit, you could say.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
right.
Hindsight's a funny thing because last year, you're probably back in the move, especially after Fogarty in the finals. He was a bit disappointing, but doesn't seem to have worked out for the Raiders. And Ricky Stewart, his whole tenure at the Raiders, it seems to be one year they'll have a blinder, and then the next year they just fade away.
Yeah, very inconsistent under Ricky. Um, I don't know what it is. They just can't seem to take that next step.
Well, they didn't. They earned the nickname the Canberra Faders for a reason, eh?
Yep, 100%.
All right, mate. Your player of the round and why?
Player of the round, drum roll, Jerome Luai.
Mm-hmm.
Player of the round, Jerome Luai. Put it into context, he was being written off after probably his worst game of his career last week. multiple
Worst game of
errors.
his career. That's a call.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and it was 68-0 loss against his former side. However, this week, and the reason he's my best player of the round, 3 tries, 17 runs, 140 meters, 8 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks. Most importantly, he was back to his chirping best. Luai's on when he's smiling and chirping. And I thought it was probably one of his better games in Tigers colours. One of his best games in Tigers colours, to be honest.
I thought it was his best.
Yeah, it was his best, I reckon. He didn't wait for the game. He really went out and went for it. Like, he didn't wait for the opportunities. He just sort of went for it, which I think really showed why Tigers signed him. And hopefully this sort of kicks him into action for the rest of the season and Tigers go on a run. But I thought, he showed up to play. He was competitive, fought hard with every play, played to the whistle, all those good things. Yeah, play of the round, Jerome Luai.
What did you think of him telling? I don't know if it was the Tigers fans or like fans in general, but what do you think of him telling them to shut the fuck up?
He pushed his teammates off him and shushed the crowd and kept mouthing, "Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up." And then even post-show, I'm not sure if he's seen it, because Luke Keary went in on him last week, critiquing him very, very hard. And then post-show, Luke Keary interviews him, and Jerome Luai told him, I want you to say that every week. And they started sort of having a crack and had a laugh with each other.
You know what? I feel like, for me personally, I feel like that shows how much growth Luai has actually shown. The fact that he acknowledged the criticism was warranted and deserved.
And he had a laugh about it?
Yeah, 6-7 years ago, Luai, do you feel like he would have sort of had the same response?
Yeah, he probably would have said something smart-ass or something, hey?
Yeah, or posted something on his Instagram story or something.
Chill, you got work tomorrow.
You got to pay tax tomorrow. Nah, honestly, man, from a Tigers fans perspective, it was great. It was great to see. And honestly, I hope that puts to bed the nonsense that I've been hearing that Jerome Luai is not committed to the club, because that's sort of the narrative that's been thrown around ever since he signed PNG. He's checked out. He's not committed, which is just a load of rubbish.
I think that's a load of rubbish. I sort of critiqued Tigers as a team a couple of weeks ago, saying it may affect the team, but I've never sort of questioned Luai's commitment. And I think last week it really showed that he does still care for the jersey, and he's just like a player that sort of cares for the team. And I just think he's gonna keep playing well until he signs with PNG. He's not one to sort of
shy away. We've seen his whole career, no matter what jersey he reps, bro, he's 100% in. He's fully committed.
100%. I agree. Yep. I agree.
And people were saying, he hasn't stepped up. Well, he did exactly that on Sunday. He scored the first try to sort of get the Tigers and the crowd back in it, but to make the game 24-18. He scored the second try to tie it, and then he scores the winning try and shushes the crowd. I mean, what more did he expect?
I thought the best try, and it really showed his intent. There was an offload, I'm pretty sure, from the winger on the left edge, and he just grabs the ball and just tunnels all the way to the line like a front rower. Didn't step or nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, he's on for sure today.
Bro, I knew he was on the minute from the first kickoff, he took a run. And I was like, that's something different. That's something we haven't seen.
He did, He took the first hit up.
You know what? But I really wish that he uses his short kicking game more. I don't know if it's a stretch to say, but I genuinely think that he has one of the best short kicking games in the whole comp. And
he does. He doesn't use it enough though, eh?
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't use it more. I don't know if it's just a tactical thing or
when he used to play for Blues. When he used to play for Blues, he used to use it a lot.
That's what I mean. I'm not sure if it's just like a Tigers thing, like he's being coached not to use it. But man, last year he created so many points off of it. he forced so many dropouts, but it's like he's put it away this year. I'm not sure, man. And he was fucking, watching Jock Madden just put up pointless bombs on the fifth
Yeah.
tackle every fucking time in the red zone that did nothing. But big credit to Luai, man. I'm happy for the bloke, proving a lot of people wrong and proving a lot of Tigers fans wrong.
Surely he's your best player of the round.
Yeah, he's my best player of the round for sure. Special mention to Isaiah Iongi, man. I thought he played really well for Para too.
He did.
But it's hard to look past Luai and yeah.
If it was any other week, maybe. If Luai didn't play this week, maybe Iongi. But
yeah,
Luai was just outstanding.
And like I said, man, hopefully some Tigers fans can relax now and put to bed this rubbish that the guy's not committed or he's checked out.
Straight out. Nah, he's definitely. Hopefully this kickstarts Tigers' run, to the premiership.
Well, I don't know, man, because we've just lost our fucking best defender for the rest of the season. So
who's that? Alex 12.
Kaipi's poor.
Oh, Kaipi's poor.
I think he tore his pec, and he had surgery today.
Gone for 12 weeks. That's right.
Yeah, not good. The fans agree with us, so that's always good. Jerome Luai, our fan-voted player of the round.
Big Romy.
Big Romy, lad.
Chill.
Chill. Alla pesse. Best man speech. We got some signing news over last week. I actually think, I'm not sure if you know too much about him, but you know me, like I'm someone that keeps up with the juniors and pathways and all that sort of stuff. Mason Barber signs with the Perth Bears for 3 years. I think that's a big loss for the Cowboys, and they seem to be struggling to retain their fullbacks, their gun fullbacks, I should say. They've let Kalen Ponga go, Hamaso, Tabuai Fido go, and I'm not saying this guy is sort of on the same level as them, but I think he genuinely has the potential to be.
Showing schoolboys, Ibra Park.
Yeah, we got a glimpse of him in the NRL trials this year, I believe he played, and it looked fairly good. We got Freddie Lussick signing with the Bulldogs on a 2-year deal. It's really funny that they've let go of Reid Marnie just to sign worse hookers than him.
Make it make sense, Doesn't make sense at all. We'll let go of one of the better hookers.
Fucking 4 worse hookers than him: Freddie Lussick, Kurt Mann, Bailey Hayward, and Jake Turpin. So that's some Gus Guru knowledge.
I don't understand that. I don't understand how you can let Reid Marnie go, who's one of a genuine nine, crafty, can kick out a dummy half, knows when to take runs. Not saying Freddie Lussick can't, but like apples and oranges, and I'm pretty sure.
And we all know the difference of a player in the Penrith system and then anywhere else, right?
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Freddie Lussick is being carried at the moment by the Panthers system.
Yeah. Sure.
And hopefully improves doggies, but I just don't know why you would let go of Reid Marnie to persist with Hayward and then sign somebody like Freddie Lussick. Just only Gus Gould can explain that one.
And Soriaga. Maybe we can get AI Gus on the pod soon. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's get AI Gus on. Maybe he can answer a few questions.
Yeah, I might look into that.
Get it going.
We got Milky Jenkins re-signing with Penrith till 2029. I don't know if you saw the re-signing video, but it was pretty well done.
Yeah, he was drinking like out of a milk carton and
Yeah. No, Penrith nailed that. They'd be happy with this, I reckon, especially with Ivan leaving and the expansion clubs coming.
Good signing. I think he's really into this year. Obviously, started the year with I'm pretty sure he scored like 10 tries within 4 games, 4 or 5 games.
Something ridiculous like that.
But yeah, he was even in Origin talks before game 1 by a few people, a few pundits. Yeah, and I think that's a great signing for Penrith, and they keep it going. They keep the producing junior local talent.
Is he Penrith Junior?
Pretty sure he started at Penrith, didn't he? Went to Newey and came back to Penrith.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah,
My apologies, sir.
that's okay.
What about this? It was a pretty big story to break in the NRL world over the last week. Ashley Klein
Yeah,
got himself
Jeez.
into a gambling debt of 400,000. What do you think?
Allegedly.
Well, it's not
Yeah, I don't
alleged.
know.
I'm pretty sure they came out and confirmed it.
No way.
Yeah, we don't need to
Jeez.
beat around the bush here, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued for any defamations, but
No.
yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think this is a major conflict of interest,
Yeah,
especially being a top referee, and having that much control or power over the result of a game. Being in like gambling or having a gambling problem, you're sort of prone to. I don't know. I just think it's more like human nature. If you're in debt, you're going to sort of do things or in your subconscious that'll sort of, create controversy. It's a tough one, but yeah, it's very, well, at least if the NRL came clear or be transparent about it, maybe it wouldn't be this big. The fact that they tried to
that's what
hide
I
it.
mean. That's 100% right. If the NRL came out like a couple of years ago and were just transparent with everything, I feel like it wouldn't be as big of a story as it is today.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you reckon? Who leaked it? Queensland? Trying to.
Maybe, I'm not sure. They've been having some carry on about the refs apparently, so probably some Queensland mind games. I don't know. I think it's sort of it's a tricky one because how can we all know, Ashley Klein has a history of shonky refereeing, right? I mean, he's made some pretty big calls in his time as a referee. One only 3 weeks ago, fucking sending off Kalen Ponga. It was widely.
Overturning the bunkers decision to the bunkers said, nah, Simbin.
So it's a bit weird because not weird, but how can you sit here as a fan, right, and not think, okay, well, this guy had a gambling problem that's landed him, in debt with 400 grand. He's has a bit of a dodgy history refereeing with some
Some
shunky calls.
questionable.
How
Yeah.
can you think something's not linked? Not to say that it is or it's been proven, but there's always going to be that sort of suspicion of doubt there, right? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's right. 100%. It's like how can we sort of trust him now,
Exactly.
knowing this? There's always going to be that doubt in our minds
Yeah,
now,
there's always sort of going to be like a cloud hovering over him.
which there
And
already was, but now
yeah.
this even makes it worse. Like a lot of people used to joke, like, does this guy have a multi on the game? What's going on? And then
Turns
now
out maybe he
this
really
comes
did.
out. Like, damn.
It's like when what did Brimson bet on? And then he posted his sports bet winnings, and then above it, I think he had Alex Brimson anytime try scorer or something.
And
then
he
he
said it was his
posted,
mum.
yeah. He's like, it's not me.
Yeah, right, mate. Yeah, right.
Just posting my mum's winnings on Instagram, guys. No worries.
Yeah. AJ Brimson, come on, buddy.
All right. Well, we're able to the big dance, the decider. Well,
New
not the
South
decider,
Wales.
sorry, but
New South Wales is the decider.
yeah, New South
Well,
Wales.
it is a decider in a way, to be honest.
Yeah, I suppose. But
New South Wales. Let's do it.
Game 2 of Origin.
Preview.
We had a few team changes from last week, so I think it's only one main one really. Stephen Crichton out, Tolu Kola center, Marky Mark onto the wing, and Haumole onto the bench. What do you think?
Nah.
Wait, what do you mean, nah?
It wasn't Haumole. Haumole's 20.
Yeah.
Jack Bostock's come onto the bench.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought
Yep.
Jack Bostock was the reserve player.
Nah. So Marky Mark from the bench goes to the wing, makes his debut. Kula shifts to centre. McLean's out because of injury. Bostock on the
Yeah,
bench as the
wow.
back
Yeah,
cover.
sorry. I apologize. You're right. Wow. What the fuck? So you see, I'm just going off of fucking logic here. How I still don't understand
Yeah.
how Molly is
But
good
Laurie
enough.
Daly doesn't use the same logic as us.
Yeah, exactly.
There's logic and then there's Laurie Daly logic.
Hey, by the way, I do want to apologize to you. 2 weeks ago, you suggested Ethan Strange at back row. I fucking completely dismissed it and laughed it off. And then what does Laurie Daly go and say today? He
Oh my.
fucking plans on playing Ethan Strange in the back row.
And Instagram went into meltdown. You have the best back row in the comp on your reserves, and you come out and say that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. Don't know what he's thinking. But where do you think the game can sort of be won and lost for both sides?
I think it's pretty simple. I think if New South Wales, and we say this all the time with New South Wales, if they can get their start right, and their middles go forward in the first 20, because Queensland, and especially in the last three Origin games, dating back to last year,
Yeah.
Queensland have blown us out of the park in the first 20, and we're playing catch up for the rest of the game. I think if New South Wales, or if whoever, which either team, wins the first 20 middle battle, will go on to win the game, in my opinion. And I think New South Wales will have the edge on that this time around, with none other than Payne Haas coming back.
Yeah, he's there. Payne Haas, he's a huge in. Look, for me, Queensland, they hold the biggest weapon of the whole game, and that is Reece Walsh off the bench.
Yeah, that scares me as a New South Welshman.
Yeah, I think he's the biggest weapon of the series, especially if New South Wales are fatiguing and with the attacking prowess that Walsh possesses, he can just come on and instantly sort of change the game. I really think Mitchell Moses, if he's right to go, look, you know, I have been pretty vocal against him starting. I still, I don't back the decision considering he hasn't played in a month. Um, but it will help a lot in terms of New South Wales game plan. You saw in game one, they sort of knew that, well, Cleary's going to do majority of the kicking, so they knew to just pressure Cleary, sorry, and he was putting kicks out that was shallow. Sometimes they were hitting the 40-meter line. He wasn't really getting them deep enough. I think with Mitchell Moses there now, sort of there's two threats. So Moses can help out with the long kicking and sort of take a bit of pressure off of Cleary, and maybe that can help out New South Wales with their field position. I sort of think New South Wales now, after we saw Cobbo in game one, how dangerous he was, maybe they can try kicking to him instead of kicking to Hamaso to sort of take away his yardage carries. Um, Jojo Fafita, he was pretty dangerous himself off of the yardage carries, so maybe just trying to kick early or kick him behind the wingers and take away that sort of time that they have so New South Wales can sort of rush up and keep the pressure on. Um, I think from what we saw in game one from Sam Walker, I think a lot more pressure needs to be placed on him. He surprised me, and I'm sure he surprised a lot of people for a debut Origin game. Man, he was pretty impressive. So New
Yeah.
South Wales need to apply a bit of pressure on him. I still am struggling to see how the hell Mitchell Barnett is a walk up starter in this New South Wales Blues team. I mean, dropping Haumole to keep Mitchell Barnett in the team. I don't know. Maybe he's offering. It's like that Jay Chaboyevich role that Madge had Gerbo under, where he's providing leadership and
Look, I
sort of
don't. Yeah,
guidance.
I don't mind. I don't mind Barnett. I think he brings this hard edge. He's sort of that leader type role, I reckon.
Yeah, but I just don't see, bro, like how the guy hasn't played since the last Origin game. They rested him against Penrith, and then Warriors had the bye 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
the round before Origin. So he hasn't played in 3 weeks. He's barely played any footy this year. It's not like he's blowing away teams with his form. Like Jackson Ford's been much better than him. I don't understand how Mitchell Barnett is some walk-up selection and then you can leave someone like Hal Molly on the bench. The guy's been the most fucking devastating back row, the most form back row of the comp all year. You got two specialized left edges playing on the edge, and then you got a wrecking ball like Hal Molly on the reserves. I don't understand it.
I just think back on Barnett. I just think especially with Haas coming in, I just think he'll feed off Haas and he'll be better for that first game. Him and AFB, they got found out first game, but I just think he'll be better for it. And I just think, stick with him and he'll do a job for us game 2 with Haas being there. And on Lucas and Lucas being selected, have they confirmed if he's playing left or right?
No.
They haven't confirmed it. It's
No.
I don't know. Because we need somebody to go at Sam Walker, and Huddy Young doesn't really go at opposition halves. He's more of a give me the ball and sort of run inside, step, this and that. It doesn't really go after him like Angus Crichton would. And I'm not sure if Dylan Lucas that sort of player. He's more of a Huddy Young type player, isn't he? He's not sort of the Hamole fault. Mold rather.
He can be, like, depends. Like some games I've seen him do it, and then some games I've sort of seen him like go into his shell a bit. I don't know. I guess maybe it's just a confidence thing with him. I will say Queensland, they have a very big advantage. I think we all know that Nwangane Wase, he's a very rocks and diamonds player. I think if Queensland now have the opportunity to sort of try and get in his head, it's an Origin debut, it's a very big stage. We know that he's prone to some errors under the high ball.
He'll score you 2, but he'll let 3 in.
Yeah, he's defensively, he's not the best, and he can struggle under the high ball. So I wonder if Sam Walker, plays with him every week. They train together. They'll know each other's strengths and weaknesses. I'm sure Sam Walker will be putting up a lot of bombs for him. I still don't know how Britton Nakora is starting for Queensland. Finafuwayaki, I think him coming on for Queensland, he can cause a lot of havoc in the forward battle. Bring him on and Walsh on at the same time, sort of when the game sort of starts to fatigue. I think that can sort of cause a lot of damage. We know what happens when they get sort of Hamaso in space. Ponga again on the sweep plays. There's probably no one better in the comp than Ponga. I think it's going to be a really good game. Hopefully, it's not like the start of game 1 where we just see, Queensland blitz the Blues. Although if you're a Queensland fan, you probably would have loved that. But I don't know. I'm predicting a much more closer, tough forward battle. What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, I think naturally game 2 it goes up. Like both teams go up a level. Game 1's always sort of how you going, but game 2 always goes up a level. And I just think New South Wales, I really think they're going to have an emphasis on their start, and I think it's going to be one of the great origins we've ever seen, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I actually think it's going to be one of the greatest origins we've ever seen. And just back on sort of strengths and weaknesses, I feel like New South Wales' right edge defence, Katoni Staggs, and I'm not sure if you got to mention in our last couple of potties, but he got skinned by Ponga. Ponga sweeping up to the left on New South Wales' right. He needs to be ons. He needs to be ons and sort of communicate with his edge to sort of shut down Ponga. And especially I'm scared if Reece does come on, because there was word today that Reece might come on in the first, like after the first 20 minutes. And if that happens, good luck to New South Wales is all I can say.
And interesting because we know that nowadays size doesn't really matter. So if you can have sort of Walsh playing that link role in the middle, linking up with Harry Grant, Sam Walker, and Munster and Ponga, man, that has the potential to be very, very dangerous. And New
Yeah,
South
like
Wales,
Walsh.
we don't really have anything off the bench to sort of combat that. I mean, Ethan Strange, yeah, but he's not Reece Walsh, if we're being honest.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And I just feel like Walsh, what scares me is, as you said, if he comes on in the middle and he has no sort of extra responsibilities that a fullback would have, just go out there and play what you see and go on both sides and do whatever, have a free roaming license. That's honestly scary to New South Wales defence. Could be anything.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If we don't have sort of anything to combat that, and then once Queensland sort of get into a flow and the rhythm of things, how can New South Wales sort of stop that momentum?
Maybe that's what Laurie meant by back row. Reece Walsh goes on into lock or in the middle. Ethan Strange goes on into the lock or in the middle.
Well, honestly, I'm not sure what the guy meant because this week he said he's playing back row, and last week he said, yeah, like we plan on bringing him on in the middle.
But like back row, is that like a loose term for second row and lock, or is that just back row meaning second row?
I'm not sure because nowadays it's not really like when you say back row, you think of second row, right? And then when you say
Nowadays.
middle, you think of prop and lock.
Yeah, that's right. 100%. But I don't know what Laurie's fucking I don't think Laurie knows what he means sometimes. Let alone us.
There are a bit of rumors that Appy will start over Robson. What do you think of that?
Honestly, I think the opposite should happen. I think Robson should play the first 20 to 30 and Appy come on. But what I think will happen is Appy will start, plays first, say 20, and then Robson will come on. Only reason is because Robson has that link with Teddy.
And Robson is, I hate to admit it, but he's
Much better defender.
Defensive hooker than Appy. So you can sort of, play Robson for that first 25, 30, take the sting out of the game, and then maybe Appy can be like that sort of X factor for the Blues because, we know he's like a very crafty hooker, probably one of the craftiest hookers in the game. And
that's right. That's why it wouldn't make sense for him to start, eh?
Nah.
Because you're meant to start the defensive-based hooker where he makes all the defensive-based plays in the first 20 where the game's in like the most intense in the first 20. And then, you get Appy on whilst everything's sort of calmed down and loose and I don't know.
Unless he plans on starting fast.
Yeah, like start fast, try and score points in the first 20.
Yeah, like he, try and sort of blow Queensland off the park.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that could work.
Because we've seen in game one that like what Blake Brayley sort of came on, I think around that 55th minute mark or 60th minute mark and had an instant impact. So
I
don't know. I don't think Robson's not that sort of hooker. Whereas, Appy, you can sort of have him as like a secret weapon.
100%, yeah. No, Appy. It's just going to be interesting how Laurie uses him. Hopefully, he uses him well. I wonder who misses out.
Sort of have Appy try and combat Walsh, even though they're two completely different players. But you know what? Both are sort of capable of like flipping a game on its head. Like I said, Appy's like sort of, he's very, very crafty out of dummy half. Probably the craftiest hooker in the comp, in my opinion.
100%, yeah. I'll rate Appy's craft out of dummy half. He is the craftiest. Sometimes he's too crafty for his own good. Like the players around him don't even know what's going on.
I feel like sometimes he doesn't even know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, straight out. Sneaky meaty.
Do you got anything more to add?
Nah. I think we've covered it well. Go the Blues. That's about it.
Up the Blues. Well, we only got one question this week. Um, what did you think of? I assume this was asked yesterday. What did you think of Josesi yesterday? So he's obviously talking about Josesi Lanyon, who debuted for the Tigers on Sunday. What did you
Young
think of
hooker
his
for the
performance?
Tigers. I thought he done well for his first game. They only announced it officially an hour and a half before kickoff, as they do. But yeah, I thought he done pretty well. Played 60 odd minutes in his first game. Made 40 odd tackles. Only I think one or two miss. But yeah, done very well. And you could tell once he come off and his starting middles come up with him, Tigers sort of struggled in the middle. That's when Keanu Kenny went on his little blitz and
Oh, that's probably
Tigers
the
scored.
best freaking 15, 20 minutes I've seen of any player this season.
Yeah, that was Turbo 21 territory for 15 minutes there.
It was funny because he sort of had that 15, 10-minute period of fucking he could do nothing wrong, and then I feel like he was quiet for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's right. I thought they were going to go on to win it after that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it sort of was noticeable when Josesi came off, and I thought, yeah, very, very good game. Knew when to run. Didn't sort of overplay his hand for his first game. Made his tackles. Sort of put some shots on too. The young fella can hit.
Yeah, he was pretty solid in contact.
Yeah, I thought he'd done well. He sort of earned a spot. I reckon he's got named today, actually, this afternoon for this week's game. So yeah, good on him.
Yeah, he got named at 14. Yeah, look, I thought he played well, man. And like you said, he had an opportunity to nail down a spot in the team long term, especially. I'm very, very happy if we don't have to see Tristan Hope playing 9 for the Tigers again. I'm sorry, it's harsh, but yeah, as a first grade 9, Tristan Hope is just way off it, way off it. He took his opportunity with both hands, hopefully. As someone, I do watch a lot of lower grade and pathways. I did have a bit of worries about his defense sort of holding up in first grade because sometimes, in New South Wales Cup, he has had a bit of poor defensive moments. I was actually also a bit concerned that he started the game because he hasn't even started the game in reserve grade. He strictly came off the bench as a bench 9 or 13. So when I seen he was starting, I was like, wow, it's a big call from Benji. But credit to the young kid, man. He played well, and hopefully as well, we don't have to see Latu Fania at hooker anymore because, to be honest, man,
We've
I
really
think
struggled defending in the middle.
yeah, man. I think as well. His confidence, his shot, and
Yeah,
it'll be very, very trademark West's Tigers if we have a talent like Latu Fani at our club and sort of mishandle his development like what we're doing right now, man. I think the best thing for Latu at the moment, he just needs to go down to reserve grade and sort of play a
hone his
couple of games.
craft
Yeah, it's hone his
in his
craft in the
halves.
half, man, because especially with Jerome Luai leaving, like there's a chance, for Latu to
Yeah,
sort of make that spot he's in. In my opinion, from what we've seen on him in first grade playing in the halves, man, there is a very, very capable player there. But
100%.
he's learning nothing coming on and playing hooker for 10 minutes or
It's
coming
kind
on
of
and
sad. He's not a hooker. It's kind of
he's not
sad.
a
Like,
hooker and he's not a lock either.
he's a genuine half.
That's what I mean. But I sort of can understand it from the point where it's like, okay, the Tigers are going through a bit of an injury crisis at the moment, and we
Someone
need
who's
the
been
amount of
there. Yeah,
we need as many first graders as we can get, and it's no secret. I think that Latsi's he's a solid first grader, but if we're talking in terms of a long term view, man, I think the best thing for him at the moment is just to go to New South Wales Cup and hone his craft. And now they unearthed, Josesi Lanyon. So there's no need for him to be sitting on the bench and coming on a hooker anymore. And, Josesi, he's a sort of like that Brandon Smith mold where he can come on and play a bit of 9, a bit of 13, and hopefully give Appy a spell. And even spend a bit of time at lock if needed. So
Yeah.
you know, I
Can go
thought
well, the young fella.
Jesse went really well on Sunday. Your tips for the round, mate?
Tips for the round for me. Newcastle, Tigers, and this is all subject to Origin backups, by the way. So Newcastle, Tigers, Penrith, Manly, Warriors, Melbourne, and Roosters. What about yourself?
I'll read out Baxter in his tips, guys. I'll read them out. He's tipped the Blues. He's tipped the Knights. He's tipped Tigers to beat the Dolphins. He's tipped Penrith. He's tipped Manly. Wow. I'm surprised from him by that one. He's tipped the Warriors. He's tipped Canberra. And he's tipped Easts to beat Sharks. I think I all pretty much have the same tips, although I've gone the Dolphins to beat the Tigers, eh?
Yeah, that's the thing. It depends if the Dolphins players back up. If they don't, Tigers. If they do, Dolphins. Simple as that for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Even if their players don't back up, I think they're just we've
So
lost
good.
both of our starting back rollers. I don't know if you've seen our bench, mate. It's one of the fucking worst benches we've trotted out in a long time.
Yeah.
I think we just have fucking Maverick Gaia and Charlie Murray as our forwards on the bench, man. It's
Jeez.
pretty grim stuff. So
Slim pickings.
yeah, I don't have high hopes for that game. But anything else to add, mate?
Nah, just go the Eagles. That's about it.
Go to Tigers.
Go
All
the
right,
Eagles.
guys. Well, that's another episode of another Footy podcast. I hope it was a good listen. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, tune in next week.
Peace.